It's it's a beautiful day in the neighborhood. Beautiful day in the neighborhood. Would you be mine? It's a beautiful day in the neighborhood. Beautiful day in the neighborhood. Would you be mine?
Taking a walk in the park today, literally. Sometimes it's good to get out of your house if you're an introvert like me who loves being at home. To just take a walk and think in the sun, get your energy levels up, your creative juices flowing, and just to be quiet and to listen to that voice inside that's telling you what your next step is, what your next move is. So I just want to share a little bit of this loveliness of the day with you guys. Hey there, this is Tequila with Southern Twang. Today I'm coming to you guys from the park. One of my challenges is to get more comfortable with the vlogging in public, and that is why I'm here today at this public park. It's a very beautiful location. So what I'm going to be talking to you guys about today is creativity and about introversion, specifically my introversion. I'm deeply introverted, and I have my reasons, so I'm just going to get into that today and how introversion serves me well at times. So first, let's talk about the advantages of introversion. As an introvert, I get a lot of things done. I'm very productive. I notice that a lot of times people are at work and they're socializing, they're laughing, they're having a good time. And in the meantime, I'm running circles around them. So that is one big advantage of being an introvert, is that I can go through a checklist like nobody's business. I get stuff done. Another advantage of being an introvert is that I'm more in tune with what's going on around me. When people talk a lot, they don't listen, because you can't talk a lot and listen a lot at the same time. So when I'm being quiet, I get to hear what people are saying, and sometimes you have to read between the lines, okay? And you can't do that if you're talking. So I pick up on people's motives, on their energy, on their intentions. I have, a very good spirit of discernment, I think. So let's talk about how my introversion benefits my creativity or vice versa. Sometimes I feel like it's just too much going on. I teach school. I work with kindergartners, so every day I'm with 17 4 and 5-year-olds, and they're constantly talking to each other, constantly trying to talk to me, asking for help. I go home, I have 2 young sons, and they're talking to me, they're bickering with one another. Then I have a husband. So all these things, it gets to be a lot. It's a lot of talking. It's a lot of people who want me to communicate with them every day, throughout the day, and that's very overwhelming to me as an introvert, because I just want to be quiet. I want to not talk to you. I'll listen, but I don't want to talk to you. And a lot of people just do not get that, okay? So when I am in that mode where I just don't want to talk, a lot of times it's because I want to think. And any creative, any artist knows that when you have that time to process and to just kind of let your mind go blank as much as you can, that's when the ideas come. That's when the creativity just bubbles up. So sometimes I find myself getting annoyed by people when they want me to interact with them, but all I really want to do is disconnect. And so I'm, wondering, like, okay, is that mean? Is it insensitive? I used to think this way, but now I realize that is just the way that I'm built. Just like people love to talk all day and it's like they barely take a breath, that's natural for them. it's natural for me to be quiet and to not want to interact a whole bunch with people. Now, that doesn't mean that I don't like people. I have my moments when I want to hang out, where I want to be, surrounded with people, where I want to strike up a conversation. But those times are few and far between. And while I enjoy the company of others, I enjoy my own company so much more. And that's not to say that, I think I'm better or anything like that. But what that speaks to is the fact that I need to think. I need to clear my mind. I need to recharge my battery so that I can get fresh ideas. So I'm interested. I want you guys to tell me, you guys who are introverts, to tell me, like, am I crazy? I mean, do you experience these things? Are you set up, the same way or similar to how I'm set up? Let me know in the comment box below. So anyway, when I find myself getting irritable and snappish because what I really want to do is just pull away, I find the time to do that. And my husband, he's getting to know me better, and he's understanding that this is the type of person that I am. And it doesn't mean that I'm mad with you. It doesn't mean that you've done something to piss me off. What it means is I need to recharge my battery. So the longer you are talking to me, keeping me away from my plug, less and less energy is what I'm going to be giving to you. So it's best if you just remove yourself and let me get to my charger, which is my alone time. Okay, so when I have that time, I'm the happiest person that I can be, because I have time to process. And as well as process, I think about what I need to do for the day. I think about what I need to do on a short-term basis. I think about goals, short-term goals, my long-term goals. I'm thinking, what can I do to get more engagement on my blog? What can I do to get more subscribers on my YouTube channel? I'm thinking about what can I do to make my online thrift store better. I'm thinking about all that stuff. So I value quiet time so much that I have to make a space for it every day. So after I put my kids to sleep at night, and I've, spoken with my husband, that is my time to do whatever I want to do. And it may only be for 1 to 2 hours, but I keep a little journal, and that journal is strictly for my thoughts and my ideas as it relates to my business and my brand. And so whenever an idea hits me, I write it down. Because in addition to being an introvert, I'm also a chronic list maker. Like, I have probably about 10 lists right now in the notes section of my iPhone. And they may be checked off completely, they may be partially complete, but it's crazy. It was so much worse before the iPhone came along, because I used to keep shreds of paper, and I would have like 10 pieces of paper with lists on them. And then I would get to the grocery store and realize that I forgot the freaking list. So that used to piss me off. But anyway, I have iPhone and I keep lists, and then let me get back on track. So when I get a stroke of genius, I write it down in my notebook, my journal. And then later on, I can implement that. And this is what creatives have to do. Now, I'm not saying that you have to keep a journal, but I'm saying that if you are an introverted creative, then you need to carve out a time in your day to honor the way that you are built. Okay? Because if you do not, you're going to find yourself becoming frustrated because you cannot, you don't have an outlet, and you need that. So let's talk about people who are extroverted. I just want to say that extroverted people have their strengths. They A lot of times are great communicators. Sometimes they're not. Sometimes they just like to talk more than they like to listen. So that's not, a great communicator. But most of the times they are great communicators. They're the life of the party. People are drawn to them. They help people because they're able to talk people through certain things. Kudos. It takes all kinds to make it in this world. But I'm a little bit leery of people who do not need time alone or who do not like to be alone. The reason for that is I feel that if you do not enjoy your own company, then other people are not going to enjoy it either. And there's something that needs to be addressed within yourself, by yourself, if you do not like to be alone. My question is, what are you hiding from? What are you running from? Whereas me as an introvert, I'm just going to go ahead and deal with those things head on in my own mind to myself. And to me, that's healthy. It's never healthy when you continually run from a situation, because sometimes you just have to look it in the face and you got to deal with it. And so that is what bothers me about people who don't like to be alone, people who always need to be around someone, people who always need to be talking. Like, what are you guys getting done? I mean, production-wise and just spiritually and emotionally, what are you getting done? Now, this is not to offend anyone who is extroverted or talkative, loquacious, however you want to put it. This is not to offend you. This is to help my fellow introverts who are questioning themselves and who are, kind of wondering, like, is this a good thing? It is a good thing. As I stated before, it has its benefits. It has its advantages. So, again, I want to hear from you guys. I want to hear if you've had experiences when people maybe have said that, you're too quiet. And, you're thinking like, really? I know that happens to me. And the thing is, I'm like, if they only knew what I was thinking in my head. I'm not quiet. I choose to be reserved. But when I do speak, what I have to say is of substance. And I feel like a lot of people who talk a lot, they lack substance sometimes. Not all the time. Sometimes they lack substance because they don't even give themselves time to think about what they want to say or what they need to say or what they should say. They just talk. So, if you are a creative, please, please, please. And if you are an introvert, don't be afraid or ashamed to give yourself that time. Do not worry about what other people are saying about you. They might say that you're stuck up. Let me tell you, people have said that I was unapproachable. People have said that I am, stuck up. I've heard that like when I was a lot younger. People are a little bit more mature than that, so they don't say, oh, she's so stuck up. They might say, oh, you're so quiet. You're standoffish. And I totally understand why I may come off as those things. But when you get to know me, you'll find that I'm very down to earth. I love to laugh. I am, I'm pretty much a warm spirit. But that's not going to make me just change just being outgoing and introverted, because that's just not the way that I'm built. So, with that being said, I want you as an introvert to embrace who you are. And if you are not an introvert, but you know somebody close to you who is, I hope that this video will give you an insight into how they think and what they need. So if you have someone in your life, a special somebody, and they're introverted and they're creative, give them their space. I guarantee you that when they come back to you, when they reconnect with you, it's going to be at a higher quality than it would be if you are keeping them from themselves. So that is what I want to talk about today. I hope that I wasn't rambling. I hope that I didn't sound like I was totally disconnected from everything else that I've been speaking about, but this is something different, something that was on my mind. And I'm so upset that the wind ruined the actual footage and I had to recreate, the video. But it happens sometimes and we have to go with it. So if you're new, I thank you for joining. I hope that you will subscribe and that you will turn on the notifications to get messages for new videos by hitting that bell. And if you are already a sub, I thank you so much for coming back, and I ask that you would share this. And let's get this going. So if there's anything that you would like me to talk about, to address, anything that I can do better on, feel free to leave me feedback in the comment box below. And as always, I will talk to y'all later. Take care.